Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to talk about Primarchs. I know, me talk about Primarchs, what an absolute new thing this is for this channel. But I'm going to talk about a new book called The Lords of Silence because there's some really big changes in it there now for Primarchs. It basically states that any Primarch that can return will return, both Loyalist and Traitor. So let's jump in and let's take a look at this book. So in the background now is the actual Black Library page for this book. I recommend you go and download it. It's available in ebook, hardback and MP3. You will completely fall in love with it. It is an amazing book. I know that may sound heretical coming from me, but Chris Wraight writes some amazing books. He is probably the best author at Black Library right now, or one of the best authors. Everything he writes or puts his pen to on paper touches to gold. It's amazing. But the setting for this novel, I'll read it really quick here. It says, "The galaxy has changed. Armies of chaos march across the Dark Imperium. Among them, the Death Guard, servants of the Plague God. But the shadows of the past haunt these traitors." It says, read it because the Death Guard have returned with the return of Mortarion and their fabulous model range, and Chris Wright's previous work with them in the Space Wolf novels notably make him perfect person to delve into their particular darkness. So I'm not going to go through and like spoil the full book or anything like that. I'm just going to speak about a certain passage which has got me completely hyped. For me being, of course, a Primarch fanboy, I'm like, oh baby, it's happening, it's going down. So basically, the way it works, you have to understand that Mortarion, because he's like ascended to Daemonic Primarch-esque level, he's basically timeless. So he sees things that have yet to happen, things that have happened, everything like that, you know, like how weird the warp works and all that kind of stuff. So he's speaking to this commander, and he's talking to this commander about stuff, and the commander's like, what is he talking about? None of this has happened. Is he like losing his mind and stuff like that? And Mortarion basically says to him about, like, you know, all the Demonic Primarchs are going to be coming back from the warp, and, you know, the Loyalist sons are going to be returning. The actual quote, I'm actually just going to read the quote for you here now, because I think it's really fun. So this is the quote. It says, "There are things I have seen, snatches of dreams that I never thought would be waked from. My brothers are stirring. You hear this? My brothers. Magnus revives his tedious old blood feud, but it will not end there. The few surviving loyal sons will be found again." Mortarion chuckles. "Abaddon can do what he wishes. I no longer care for terror. I was there and damaged it so deeply it will never recover. My business is now, you might say, with the family." So this is really big news now, because this is officially in a book, and this is Mortarion seeing this, and like I stated, Mortarion is timeless, so this has happened, or will happen, but it's just not happened yet, if that makes sense. I know it's time stuff in the warp, I know it messes everyone's mind up, but this is really big for me, because it basically now confirms that the few loyaling surviving sons will be found. Now, the next debate about that is, who are the surviving sons? Of course, we've got Guilliman. We've got the Lion, who's taking a little nap. Maybe he's just sulking. Maybe he's not asleep. Who knows? Corax is definitely confirmed to be alive. That was confirmed in one of the short stories, where he's basically embraced his... Well, not embrace his chaosness, but he knows how to use the chaos side of him in a good way, if that makes sense. He's basically like... well, not evil Batman, but he's like full-on Batman now, like Shadow Warrior and stuff like that, kind of awesome stuff. I'm going to say Rogel Dawn, because I'm a huge Rogel Dawn fanboy. And Vulcan. Definitely Vulcan. He's a perpetual. He can die and just come back to life, so you really can't kill Vulcan. And the sixth one, I would say, is Jagatai Khan, because we know for a fact now that in one of the latest White Scars novels, the name escapes me at the moment. If I can find it, I'll put the book on the screen as well. I just can't remember the name. And an entire company, I think it's the third company of White Scars, has gone into the webway to find the Kargan now, and I think they will be successful on that hunt, and they will indeed find Jagatai Khan. Now, the debate about this is what order are they going to be found in? And really, what time scale are they going to come back in? Are they all going to come back during this 8th edition rulebook change, or is it going to go over to 8th or 9th edition? 9th edition is probably around, what, 3 years away, let's say? Let's be generous. So in that 2-3 year period, could they really bring back all those Primarchs I listed? Maybe even more if they want to go down certain different routes. I know there's some fan theories out there about Ferrus Manus like leading like kind of a Legion of the Damned kind of scenario. Some people have even gone far saying, you know, Sanguinius will return in some form, which I really don't want to go with. I think Sanguinius should stay dead. The glorious Hawkboy should stay dead. He died for our sins. But it's going to be interesting to see where they actually go with it. Me personally, I think they should bring some of the big boys back who we know are already around. And when I mean around, like, for example, the Lion. I know the Lion would be really, really easy to bring back. Lehman Russ could be very, very easily brought back into the fold as well. Korax, like I mentioned, is now back. Well, he's basically hunting people in the Eye of Terror. He's namely hunting Lorgar. So I can really see maybe if Lorgar comes back as a Daemonic Primarch, then Lorgar will follow him out of the Eye. Maybe that's how they can introduce Korax back into the story. Vulcan cannot die. Maybe Vulcan's just been a farmer somewhere, just, you know, chilling, just relaxing, let's say. The Khan, we all know, like, got sucked into the webway and he's been lost ever since. There's some rumors that, you know, he's been a Dark Eldar prisoner. I can't really see him. I can't really see the Kargan being a Dark Eldar prisoner. I've just read his Primarch book, and there was a scene where he goes against some orcs, and it was terrifying. So I doubt he's got to be in shackles or chains. Maybe he's just on like an eternal hunt in the webway until, you know, the White Scars who have sent into the webway actually find him and bring him back out. Now, me personally, I don't see them bringing them all back during this 8th edition. I've seen them splitting up between 8th and 9th. The reason I say that is because it brings hype to a new codex as well. Like, for when the 8th edition launched, we had Gilliman and, you know, Mortarion and Magnus. That brought a lot of hype to it. I've been told that the Mortarion model is still one of, if not the best-selling model still on the GW website. So that could really go to show how powerful Primarchs could be from a business side if that model is still like the top model since, you know, it's been released, because we've had some really big releases since then, and they are gorgeous models. I know a lot of people disagree with that. They are some people absolutely hate the idea of Primarchs coming back, and I can completely see your side of the story in that one. You know, maybe they should have been left in the past when them deeds were there and everything like that. But it's just, for me, I see a Primarch and I lose my mind, and I just think they're so big, they're so awesome. They bring so much to the story. They bring so much to the actual tabletop, either good or bad, however you want to look at it. But I really do think they really, really are awesome. And like I just mentioned, model-wise and business-wise, Primarchs sell really, really good. So it's a really big incentive for GW now to go in that direction, because it makes them a profit. And GW, at the end of the day, is a business, and businesses are there to make money. All in all, Primarchs looks like I got to be coming back. It's starting to appear more and more in these novels now. It's just DW dangling a little bit of meat in front of our faces for us to follow them down the garden path. I personally think that it's going to happen. When it does happen, I think it's going to be glorious. I think it's going to be amazing. I absolutely love Primarch. I'm not going to deny it. I'm the biggest Primarch fanboy there probably is at the moment. But if it does happen, and when it happens, screw it. I'm going to say when it happens, it's going to be an absolutely amazing time. Tell me what you chaps think about it. Are you really hyped for this? Do you think that they'll bring all the remaining Loyalist sons back? If so, which ones do you see coming back, in which order, and maybe how? A little story on how do you think they'll bring back, for example, Rogal Dawn. That's the Primarch they should be bringing back first, because he is the greatest Primarch that ever lived. He was the protector of the Emperor. He built that glorious Imperial Paris that no one could breach. Technically, they breached it in one area, but let's not talk about that. But yes, he was the best Primarch. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I passed on some information. Make sure you go and get this book. You will not be let down. Trust me, it is an absolutely amazing book. Thank you, Chris Wraight, for making awesome stuff once again. I actually get it in MP3 format, so it's even more glorious, because I get some sexy voice in my ears telling me how Mortarion is just really, really awesomely cool. Right, thank you, have a great day, and I shall see you all very, very soon. See you now, and bye-bye.